Okay, so can you get me a pencil? A B pencil or a... Okay, so firstly I'm gonna just lightly draw it out. I'm gonna sip my coffee in between. Hello! This new stuff, toch. Thank you. Okay, so we know that the nose is basically a triangle. So I'm gonna kyk. No.
It's fine.
Is it seeing what I'm doing? Is it? Okay, wonderful.
I'll move it if it's not.
I'm just gonna lightly show myself a nose. You say it's seeing me?
Yeah.
Okay. Lightly map at that. I'll possibly just do the eye just because it's interesting. So is the nose bridge width the same at the top and then the bottom?
No.
Where is it thinner?
The top.
Mooi so.
We're such good students.
Ja, hulle leer actually iets. Are you all right that I open up my nose? Because I can't do this without my glasses. It's going to be... Well, I like this brush. I know it's huge. And I don't always understand why I like it so much, but it's been with me for 30 years. So possibly it's because it's an old friend at this stage. It's really, I bought it when I was like 22. And it's still going strong. And for any shading that I do, I like, where will I do it there? Almost that sort of color, but a little bit more dark blue. So shading on skin must be gentle, always a cooler tone rather than a warm tone. Because why? What do you think? What happens with warm tones and what happens with cool tones? What's the difference? What precedes, what comes forward?
Oh, the cool tone's back.
Yes. So if you're busy with shadows, you won't do it with a bright orange because it's going to pop out and come forward too much. Okay, see now I'm starting with the eyes. I like doing the eyes. That's okay. So I'm using the edge of the brush.
So you're using a cooler tone now because it's your interpretation. You're not trying to make it
No.
the skin
No,
color.
I don't like skin color that's normal. You see me painting with coffee and tea and stuff. So I like experimenting, and I like that. I know that shadows are better when they are cool, and if I can't see it there, I'll improvise and I'll do it. Dit is ongemaklik met hierdie masjienkie, jong. Dis nie so maklike storie nie. So what's the best quality about watercolor? What do you think? Tanya can answer me this one.
That it moves where it wants to move.
Now, that's
but
not
I like
necessarily the best quality, that's the difficult quality. But it actually is nice that you can. It is actually, what?
You can't be realistic.
You can be
With
super realistic with watercolor. You can.
Oh.
I've done some
I think the shadow
really realistic dierkundige animal illustrations, and they were almost like photos, watercolor, but you can. That guy's done with watercolor. He's pretty realistic. It all depends on technique. What technique do you like as an artist? And what don't you like? Do you like stuff to look like photographs, or do you like to interpret?
Is it because it dries so quickly?
Sorry?
Is it because it dries quickly?
What? What do you mean, the watercolor?
Yeah, because you asked what's the
Benefit.
best
Oh,
thing
the
about
benefits. No.
The shading.
What are you seeing here? Is this very opaque, or
Oh
is
no,
it?
it's
What
very
is it?
transparent, and you can do
That's-
lots of layers.
That's one of the best things about watercolor is the transparency, the beauty of the transparency, that you can do up to 7 layers and you can still see the bottom layer. That's not oil. Oil you can be transparent up to a certain point, and then it doesn't work anymore. You lose the transparency. With watercolor, the tricky thing is to leave the white. Now I've already almost lost the white in there. So you can mask out the white with this stuff if you don't want to leave the white, but the white in the face or the highlights will be the white of the paper. So, onderlid, always light and gentle for the eye. Never very dark and sharp. It looks like eyeliner if you make a dark there. Okay, so now the nose. I have to build up the shape of the nose a little bit more. But I'm keeping this whole thing white for now. Because I can so easily lose my whites, and for the nose it's going to be dramatically flat then. So, ons wil nou nie by dramatically flat uitkom nie. It does dry quite quickly, and it always dries lighter than what you painted. So you might think it looks quite dark. When you look at it again, you've made some tea and you come back, the whole thing has become lighter. So I'm basically mapping in the shadows, because I'll do more detail in other colors, but if I can get the shadows and the highlight in the right place, then, I've made a longer nose, but it's not so erg. Then I know I have a build up of the face happening, three-dimensionality. Then I can start playing around with detail, but first, I just want a face with a little bit of depth, which means I have to do shadows. Same thing with drawing, same thing with oil painting. If you want it to look real, you're gonna have to do the shadows. Get good with shadows, and get good with seeing them almost like puzzle pieces fitting together, the shadow and the light.
On any landscape, portraits, whatever you're painting,
yeah.
the best is to look for where the shadows are.
Look where the shadows are, get them right, and if they're right, it goes without saying that the highlight will be right. Note that this stands in more. Can you all see it? Stuur gou vir om, kyk julle net daar. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. So that's why usually
Photoshopped.
That's the thing with pictures and magazines.
that's why that's why I'm going to put some shadow here, because I know this has to go in visually. So how do I do that? I push it in by using my shadows. Okay, I don't want to do that mouth. Right, tanden is moeilik. Ek gaan hierdie mouth doen. Nie nou, dis vir moeilik nie.
Oh, that's a good thing to remember.
Teeth, that can be very difficult. I'll get back to the nose. No, we're actually busy with the nose, but I just want to map out a face first, because then the nose has a nice position. This has to dent in as well, so I know I have to do a little shadow there. Many of you have drawn that already, will know you have to do a light sort of shading there, light grey. Sy so saggies is nog eers heeltemal daar nie. But you always start with watercolor. The secret is to start lightly. Ag, kyk net wat gaan daar anders daar. Iemand by die hek.
Can you fix a mistake?
Box iets.
A box. What's a box? Sorry.
No, it's
Dis seker maar hier. Hallo. Kom in. Hier is sy klas.
Moet ons die ding afsit, dis seker net.
Ja, kom ons sit hom af en dan begin ons weer. So kom ons waar staan jy met die agtertjie.